You are watching Who Mac TV. Everybody with Force and D's.
I like to welcome everybody to the Who Mag movement, the underground sound that'll make you move it. Stacked front to back with new exclusives, reviews, interviews, latest news and music. We invade airwaves and it's no surprise. It's all good in the hood, get recognized. Behind the scenes is what you get when you check on TV, DVD, and WhoMag.net. Who Mag? Who Mag? Who Mag? Who Mag? Who Mag? Who Mag? All around the world, get recognized.
What's up, y'all? This is Stevie D for some D's. We are a group from Staten Island, New York. We started out singing in local talent shows, and we all ended up started singing on the Staten Island Ferry. We seen a gentleman singing with a guitar singing country songs, and it gave us a great idea the way to make some money instead of going out there robbing and stealing. So we knew he had talent, so we copied what he did. We started singing, doing a lot of our favorite artists like Jackson 5, Sam Cooke, Elvis Presley, Temptations. We did a lot of that, and then we put our hat out, and that's when we started making a lot of money. You know, that was a big hustle for us back in the days. And
if you broke,
hit the boat. If you broke, hit the boat. That was our motto back in the days. And we bumped into a gentleman named Mr. Magic on the ferry that day, one of the days that we sung on the boat, and he introduced us to Tommy Boy. But besides the boat, we had a hip hop side to us. You know, one of the guys in the group, Mercury, rest in peace, me and him rapped. There's a group called Dr. Rock, was our DJ, and the Force MCs. So we sung on a boat by day and rapped at night as the Force MCs, Dr. Rock and the Force MCs. And when Mr. Magic discovered us on the Staten Island Ferry, you know, we all came along to the office, and including Trisco, who was in another group called Cook Corporation, and joined us. And we all signed. Tommy Boy heard us sing, acapella, beatbox, rap, dance, do it all, and he signed us on the spot. And that's how we got signed to Tommy Boy Records. On the spot, auditioned by Mr. Magic.
That's right.
Mr. Rap Attack himself, who brought us there.
You heard what he said. He said beatbox.
Yes.
Beatbox. So the Force MDs was beatboxing a long time. When the Force MCs went up to Harlem World.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like the early 80s.
Yeah.
The Force MCs was beatboxing back then. Beatboxing and singing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where hip hop and R&B met in its purest form.
It was like hip hop harmonizing at Harlem World. We were the first
R&B hip hop, baby.
First hip hop and R&B group that ever came out of Staten Island. You know, before our homeboys Wu-Tang, we was the first to come out of Staten Island. That happened at Tom Silverman's office because we was stuck between the LDs and the Force MCs.
Right.
So we had to choose a name. Because LD stands for Lundy's and Daniels. That's, you know, my brother Khalil and TC and Jesse Daniels. And Trisco's last name is Pearson and Mercury's last name is Nelson. So we couldn't use LDs because it didn't represent their last name. So we had to take the name Force, what can cover up everybody's last name just by being the name Force. And we had to take the D from the LDs and put it at the C from Force MCs to make it Force MDs, because if we just said Force MCs, they thought we all just sung. Rap. They thought we all just rap. So we had to put the D to make it like, or maybe they
musical diversity.
Musical diversity. Yeah. That's what it stands for. Rap, sing, pop.
Yeah, that actually told us the most about ourselves. What kind of performers and we were. It really took a page of us singing on the Staten Island Ferry, what we did, you know, and imitate all our famous artists, do a little break dance. And that's we used to do what we did in Itchy for a Scratch on the ferry boat to make some money. So we just did all of our favorite artists, and that was another song in the purest form of R&B and hip hop right there. Itchy for a Scratch had the scratches in it, because not many songs had scratches in it, singing, rapping, and dancing, doing the characters. So that was definitely one of our signature songs that we really liked a lot.
Well, I think the experience with Tommy Boy was like, which is something that a lot of artists need to learn from. It's like, you know, Tommy Boy was an independent label, and later on he got picked up by Warner Brothers. But being an independent label, even though your overhead is cheap, you make more money on your records and stuff like that. But you got to make sure that, you know, that company is what you pertaining to competing what's out there in the marketplace. Because being an independent, Foursome D's is being as talented as the Foursome D's were, and Foursome D's could compete with any group that was out there. It just didn't have the marketing dollars or the main support it needed from the label to make it, you know, reach those certain benchmarks in order to be competitive or be, you know, in a better space that they've been in. But at the end of the day, you know, Tommy Boy was definitely instrumental in breaking the group and putting the group on a platform that the world was able to know who the group was. But looking at it down the road, and you're looking at like groups that come from Motown and big, you know, labels that, you know, had labels that was able to nourish and develop artists, whereas Tommy Boy for the R&B probably was just a little too hard for him, because to break an R&B artist is a little more expensive, whereas like the hip hop was a little more cheaper to promote and produce at the same time. But the Foursome D's, you know, like Tommy Boy, like I said, at that time, and those contracts were what they were at that time. A lot of people had contracts that was pretty much, you know, in the best interest of the label, not the artist. And you have to really, you know, get yourself in a space where you can get your leverage together in order to kind of get what you need to build what you got to build. So the lesson for new artists is make sure you build your leverage up, put yourself in a space where you understand where you can grow from the contract you in, rather than be stuck in a space where you can't grow or even have not the support to bring you to the maximum of your talent or your ability.
Yeah, it's pretty much me and TC was just sitting around, you know, singing one day. And basically we used to always listen to like Blue Magic, Stylistics and stuff like that. So we just came up with that idea, that concept of tears, tears. Falling like the rain, tears, tears. And T, you know, he did the falsetto, then I came in with the first tenor and the bridge, and we just worked it like that.
And that became the Foursome D's first top 10 hit, Tears. And we thank all our fans, you know, that really, you know, we had Forgive Me Girl, Let Me Love You, but Tears was definitely our first ballad that really woke the world up, and it became our first top 10 song. And put us on tour with cats like New Edition and all that stuff. It was a really instrumental song in our career.
And that song pretty much opened the whole R&B journey up even stronger, you know, because when Let Me Love You came out and Forgive Me Girl came out, that was hip hop and R&B, like Itchy for a Scratch meeting in its purest form. But when Tears hit the deck, it was like, okay, these guys just don't sing, they can sing. So it's kind of like, okay, they can put them on the arena or the circuit with other guys that sing. So that the audience really gravitated more to that, even though it wasn't no lack of the MC skills. Because when you go back, you know, back in the days of the Foursome C's was a powerful underground group that would battle the best in New York and would come out on top. But at the end of the day, you know, Tears brought the R&B love, you know what I mean, to the group, and the group was able to build from there.
That song came about the soundtrack of Crush Groove. Crush Groove. The Foursome D's was actually supposed to be in the movie, but it didn't work out. You know, they chose New Edition because New Edition was more the younger, the bigger Jackson 5 act than we was. But you know, they chose us. You know, we thought we was supposed to be in the movie because we was more of a hip hop and R&B act than they was. But they chose them, but it was no big thing to us. They said, guys, we can put you on the soundtrack of the movie. You know, and it was a kind of like a gift and a curse. We didn't get in the movie, but we made the biggest record off the soundtrack, and it was Jerry Jam and Terry Lewis. That was definitely door opener for them as being producers. That opened the door for a lot of things with them guys. And it only took like two and a half hours to record, and you know, no one knew. They knew before we knew that it was going to be a big song. They had the feeling, and it became one of our biggest classic hits.
The song was offered to a couple
a couple of artists didn't take it.
Like Freddie Jackson.
Yeah, a couple of artists didn't want to record that. So, you know, they flew some of the group out there and recorded it, and it became a huge hit. Huge hit. They had like a fake house, and it's like a set, movie set thing. They had a beautiful girl in the video also, and they just wanted us to be natural, not like we was singing in front of the steps in front of a girl and trying to get the girl's attention, who can win the girl over. And we see the other artists do the same thing we did, so we must have set a trend. We see the other artists do that too. So that was definitely It was a simple video, you know. We could have been in the bed with the girl, doing all types of stuff. But real simple. You know, we didn't do a lot of acting in a lot of our videos that they do now, you know.
Yeah.
But it was a simple video, and it definitely made noise, and that's all that really matters in it. That's the extended version. Like on those shows back then, even Dance on Air and Soul Train shows, they brought the wrong version for us to perform. That's the extended version. That's why it's so much. There's piano with it, nothing, because it's a regular version where everything comes in right back to back. But we was doing that on a lot of TV shows. Like, yo, why do y'all bring that version of it? Because we just standing there, but, you know. But the piano on there is so beautiful. I don't think people mind too much. Crush Groove versus rapping.
Yeah.
Crush Groove destroyed rapping, and let me tell you why. Crush Groove had all the top rappers in there. Curtis Blow, Run DMC, LL Cool J. And rapping, let me think. Lucky we was in it. You know, we gotta give my man Ice-T. He was definitely in rapping.
Yes, Ice-T got to
we were clearly one of the highlights in that film. I ain't being braggadocious. We was one of the highlights in that movie. And, you know, they had too many actors trying to rap. No offense, but I know what they acting, but they was trying to rap. And it just, oh my God, when we seen the whole film for the first time.
Yellow is the color.
Yeah. We wanted to walk out the theater, but you know, we paid the respect and watched the whole thing. It's like, oh my God. What is it?
Shout out to the people.
What did we just do to hip hop? No, but go on,
That was nice. They very professional.
Very comfortable to work with. They make you feel good. They're perfectionists. That's definitely perfectionists, and you know they're good guys, man. You know you can tell they from the time coming from the time.
The time, yeah.
That whole
thing too.
It just feels good that song opened the doors for Janet Jackson. Everybody came after that song. And
right.
That song like that.
We was down there. Janet was doing her Control album. So we was in the studio at the same time.
Yeah.
With Jimmy Jam and Terry was doing her album. That's when we met her.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Just sit right back and you hear her tell all the force and D's, and the day that we got the fat boys on the Staten Island ferry. Fat boys were a little late, waiting till 5:30. So we broke into a freestyle rap. Stevie D was kicking it live. Kick it. Hold up, yo, I'll be the ride up the ferry about 5 o'clock. Wait for Monkey D, Buffy, and Cool Rock. We were gonna leave, but we heard a vibration. Fat boys are ready to go on vacation. I said, homeboys, we all gonna stop. But all the fat boys came to us out of breath. Then we got on the boat and sailed away. We all got it free, didn't even pay. Just throw your hands. Yeah. All right, you get us started now. Come on, man. What we did was we took it back to the Force MCs
That's
days.
exactly
back
how
in the
it
Force
came about.
Because the Force MCs days, Dr. Rock and the Force MCs, our rap routines used to be all TV shows and
commercials and stuff.
It's 1 o'clock with the Force MCs from Staten Island. On the ferry boat we came sailing. We went back and forth and back to keep the sucker MCs from off our track. And on the microphone, different way we belong. So we used to take all TV shows and make rap routines. Like back in the days, like rap harmonizing routines with the DJ cutting the beat under there. So we took that idea from the past and just brought it up to the present and because we had a Gilligan's Island routine back then, so we just used that same Gilligan's Island routine and used it with the Fat Boys. And, it was fun, man. They ate a hell of a lot of pizza when we recorded that song. And we was dead serious with an arm full of pizza. That's real true. They was eating while this recording. Like this. He was eating.
Stop it.
Rest in peace to Buff though.
Rest in
Hey,
peace.
Merc. Yeah, Jesse and Buffy. But Buffy was like, he's so heavy, like he shakes the whole room. And Jesse tried to hang with him. Jesse's like, oh, I give up. Yeah, that was fun. That was real fun with them guys. Here I Go Again. That's one of the songs TC wrote. I think he collaborated with Robin Haplin with that song. Robin Haplin actually was Tommy Boy's wife, and she was white. And she did a lot of those R&B, deep R&B songs that people think a black person would do. She did a lot of those songs, and we give her big props. She's like Vanilla Soul. We added the chocolate into the music that we did together. Tears, Here I Go Again. She did a lot of our big hits, Couldn't Care Less. And Here I Go Again was a song that TC came up with the melody, and she was playing the piano with it. And next thing you know, we just put it into we put it into a song version and made it into a song. And boy, the people love that. They love that song, man. So we thank everybody for really requesting that song so much on the radio, and we definitely put it out. And a lot of people's favorite song of course it is. Oh man, what I remember about dancing on there, boy, it was a sea full of girls in there, boy. I couldn't wait to sing Tender Love up in there.
I know that's right.
I want to see who want to come back to the, what you say, man?
I remember the blue suits. That's all.
Yeah. I remember we was looking real sharp that day. That was a good feeling, It was a lot of love. A lot of love, and plus, when you got that camera on, you just want to give it your all. And dancing on air, we love Philly too, man. So it was definitely good coming to Philly recording that. And I don't know if people from New York sing that. I'm not sure. Got out to New York.
Up to New York.
It was Soul Train,
right? So
as long as we know Philly, Camden and everybody else sing.
Cherry Hill.
As long as they sing, we good, and we
appreciate it. Everybody.
Love Is a House. Okay, Tender Love was such a monster hit. It was hard to follow. That was a hard song to follow. People just knew we couldn't follow Tender Love. And at the time, Tom Silverman and Monica Lynch sent these two gentlemen from London over to Tommy Boy Records, and they was presenting music. They said they presented a tape. They said, we want the 4 CDs to listen to this song right here. LaSalle and they got excuse me, I don't know their names that well, but I know one was LaSalle, and I forgot the other guy's name, but they left a cassette tape over there and gave each of us a tape to listen to for a week. So, okay, listen to this song and tell me what you think. So we listened. There was a woman singing the song on a demo.
Right.
So at first heard the song and didn't really catch on, but after we kept listening, hey, I like this bass line. It's definitely got a little nice groove to it.
Yeah.
So we kept listening and said, all right, listen, we'll record the song. We think it might do something. They was really high on this. All right, if y'all feel that way, we're gonna do it. So we recorded the song, and we left on tour for a while. After we recorded the song, we left on tour with Madonna. Right? We went on tour with Madonna overseas, and when we came back, Love Is a House is the #1 record in the country. We didn't even see that coming. So, the London, those guys did a great job at mixing it and putting that nice, clean sound to it. So, we thanks to the fans again for making that one of our #1 records. Love Is a House. You got the key. It was like watching the Brady Bunch. The video shoot to Love Is a House, like watching the Brady Bunch with all the different colors, and it was fun. It was fun because they had us in this
boxes
in white. Yeah, because you gotta stand in a certain spot. You can't move out of this spot because they made all these. They had like set marks for us to stand in. We couldn't stand out, and because it would have messed the video up. So
it was fun though.
It was fun, and it was good seeing it on TV. Like, oh my God, it's on TV.
Something different.
Yeah, something different. It's like a performance video. Back then, we didn't make a lot of like videos with like acting. We didn't do a lot. We just did a lot of performance videos, man. We was at a concert performing, right? Doing our steps. We did a little bounce with our step and everything, right? And we sang "Forgive Me, Girl," right? And Jesse was leading that song actually, and Jesse was doing the steps with it. And Jesse's zipper was broken, and he didn't realize it. And the girls were screaming really loud. Like, Jesse, you on fire! And I was like, Jesse, they really screaming for you. I said, no, I can't believe this. He screamed, and something told me, maybe if I look down, because something's not right. He's screaming too loud. I looked down, and Jesse's wing was out. And I had to tell him, says, yo, man, Jesse, your wing is out, man. He's like, oh! And he ran up the stage. We had to finish singing "Forgive Me, Girl" without him. That was one of the craziest moments in the world. And he had a lot of girls in his hotel during that day.
I think they did a great job. It was so much that it's not in there, but they did a great job with putting together the information that they had. I think it was definitely impactful because a lot of people pretty much didn't know a lot of people who didn't know the Force MD's journey or story was able to pretty much get a nice amount of it to kind of like put the pieces of the puzzle together. But overall, they did a great job. We're comfortable, we're happy, and we're satisfied with what they did.
Yes.
Yeah. Overwhelming response.
Overwhelming
response. People really love it, and that makes us happy. That it touched
It's on
people.
demand now.
Yeah, it touched people in their way. It touched people, and so many people cried, so many people cheered, and that's what you want from a documentary. You want those emotions all up in one, and I think our Unsung delivered those feelings, and we're just happy about that. We left the beatbox, the freestyle,
it's like
Mercury being a big
when
concert
like
promoter.
it was a lot. Like he said, Mercury was a concert promoter, you know,
party promoter.
promoter. Trisco song, I Want to Know Your Name.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Touch and Go. I'm just saying like Touch and Go.
We made a lot more
Could
songs
care less.
than
A
they
lot
put
of
up
the
there.
songs was left out. Even a little more detail with things that took place with the contract, but some of the elements that we wanted to make sure that got across to the world that probably was forgotten was like we wanted to be clear that Jesse D is one of the pioneers of the human beatbox.
Yes.
We wanted to be clear that Stevie D is one of the pioneers of freestyle rapping because what happens is when we see Freestyle Friday, we see the BET Awards, the Hip Hop BET Awards, just to know that they don't make the connection with the people that's pioneers and originators that helped coin those different genres. Was we wanted to make sure that the world knew that, you know, because Stevie, like you hear about Jay-Z or Biggie, Smalls, they never wrote raps. Stevie, Mercury, they never wrote down raps. Yeah. Everything was off the top of their dome.
Staten Island.
And, you know, and being from the forgotten borough of Staten Island.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and bringing that to the genre, the industry, that we thought that was important to make sure that was really pinpointed. But like I said, overall, I think people they did a great job overall.
Thumbs up.
I think
Thumbs up.
people got most of it, and whatever was left out, we're gonna put in our Force and D's. It's in our Force and D's Relive anyway.
Yeah.
Alicia Keys did Tender Love. She did Tender Love. Oh, she sounded good on it.
Yeah, I don't think she performed it live
in concert.
And there's a lot of people that performed it live in concert. You know.
I like Kelly Rowland's version of Tender Love. She did a good job.
Who's the guy from the Backstreet Boys?
No, he's from
No.
He's from
What's that?
no, he's from New Kids on the Block.
Yeah.
Jordan from New Kids on the Block. He did a great job. He did a remake of it. He did a great job. The documentary is called Force of These We Live, like Khaled was mentioning, and it definitely takes you on an even in-depth, even raw journey from the Force and D's than you seen our Unsung. But it's something that we're looking forward for the world to see. It should be coming out in the future, so look out for that, and you're gonna see a lot of things, you know. Because in our Unsung, I don't want to compare them too much, because a lot of celebrities wasn't in our Unsung. But you know, in the Relive, we have all Boys II Men, Bell Biv DeVoe, a lot of special guests, Bismarck, Dougie Fresh, all these witnesses, all the stuff that we did that's in this documentary that you'll see, and be like, wow, I didn't know they did all of that. That's what's gonna leave you with. That's all I gotta say. But Mercury, he's just an energizer. He's a crowd motivator. He was a protector. He made sure nobody mess with you because he loved punching holes through walls. He was really tough, and he's a teddy bear. He's teddy bear. He's the nicest person in the world. He'll give you a shirt off his back. That's the type of person he was. He was well loved by so many people. He taught me how to rap. You know, Mercury taught me how to rap, man. You know, I taught him how to harmonize. We became really close as childhood friends going into our singing career, everything, adulthood, rappers and singers, and all I can say is nothing but good about him. He's just a good person. He had one of the biggest families on Staten Island. Now TC, that's me and Khalil's brother.
Right.
The most humblest guy you can know. He was just too humble. You know, people, hey man, you should go solo. You should do this. But TC was like a guy that pretty much was team play, liked staying with the group and just being with everybody. And he did things without trying too hard, man. And the results all came out when he sung and did his thing. And I was just really happy to have him as a brother. You know, I missed him and Mercury very, very much. You know, as brother and Mercury's like a second cousin. So I missed him. It's hard because me and TC born the same year, so it's really hard to even mention him. He's a good bandmate and brother.
TC, boy.
Well, like I say, Mercury was he is like a second cousin, and from all I know, from being around Mercury, just a beautiful person all around, like Steve said, and he was just, you know, always thoughtful and generous, and he always, you know, was always concerned about the best interests of the group, and he was definitely instrumental in, you know, getting the Foursome Seas off the ground, being like, you know, like a real like supporter. Let's go up to Harlem and blah blah blah. Like, you know, with him and Steve going up to Harlem. So he was definitely ambitious, he's aggressive, thoughtful, like I said, and he was a great person. You know, like I said, and that's we ain't saying it because he passed. You know, when somebody is a great person, you just want to give him the acknowledgement. He was a great person. Brother TC was one of a kind. You know, it's very rare you get brothers that, you know, don't really argue and fight and stuff like that. We come from a family, you know, like my father, his brothers and stuff, they don't really fight with each other. They have disagreements, they know how to work things out. They know how to agree to disagree and move on and pretty much work in harmony together. But TC, as an artist, he was committed to his craft. He was a good brother, you know, he was the oldest of us, and he was committed to, you know, playing his role and making the group successful. So TC, you know, was just a perfect brother, and we, like Steve said, he's deeply missed, and we're definitely holding true to what he asked us to do to keep the legacy alive and keep everything moving and make sure that, you know, we just, you know, keep building and doing what we love to do, and that's making music, you know.
As far as Mercury's concerned, like Steve was saying, he's a big teddy bear. His bark was worse than his bite. I can remember one time we was out in where was that? The Bahamas, or we was in Bermuda. So we all rented these mopeds. So I crashed mine, hit the ground, scarred up my hands. So that night, I went there, took me to the hospital, cut my rings off my fingers and stuff. But it was burning. So whatever pills they gave me there, it was still hurting. But Mercury sat in that room the whole night in the chair while I was sleeping in the bed. True story. Mercury stayed with me the whole night. I'm crying. So it hurt. And I fell asleep, woke up in the morning, the sun was out, Mercury was still sitting in the chair. That's how Mercury is. But T was like my best friend, my cut buddy. You know what I'm saying? To this day, I can't believe he gone. So a lot of times I don't even like to think about it because it's gonna make me cry. So, but that's my heart. T was my man. That was my best friend. That was my boy. So that's what I can really say about that.
Cool.
We're good brothers, man. We were all brothers. It's like
That's right.
you know, we all had to sleep in the same hotel rooms. You know, you share things. You know, if one didn't have, the next one had. We all had. You know what I mean? That's what it was about. Even before we made, you know, records and stuff. Even in school, getting jobs. If I find a job, I'm gonna put T on. T find something, he put me on. That's how we got down. Went to go see James Brown at the Red Paddock.
Yeah, we working on a few things right now. We got a lot of different producers sending us music, and we got a nice little synergy writing and stuff like that. We got different radio stations that have been calling, reaching out to us to send them new music. And you know how the radio can be. That's a whole nother political animal itself. But we got people calling us and, you know, willing to, you know, giving us the opportunity to send them some new music. So we're working on some new music that we're writing. We're gonna be pretty much targeting mostly our demographics and hoping that some of the younger people may connect with it. But at the end of the day, we just expressing our truths and our stories that relate to where we at and relate to the world. So, you know, we're in a good space right now. Like I said, when you're in a good space with music, it comes out the way you want it to come out. You just got, and with music, like I said, all you get, music is just an expression, an extension of yourself. And that's where we at. We got new music, and we're doing shows all over right now. We're traveling around. About to go to LA next week. It's our third anniversary. We're going to LA. We got shows back to back. Everything is piling. Things is coming together. Like I said, it's been a journey, but like I said, you know, life is a journey, and we just, you know, riding with it, you know.
And shout out to Kevin Crump, you know, and Aaron. We going to their studio right after this interview. So
Yeah, my man Kevin.
Yeah.
KMG.
I would say Drake.
Yeah, I would say Drake too.
With the style,
Singing and rapping, you know what I mean? Singing and rapping. I would say Drake too. You know, and listen, all our old school artists, you know, Force Z, we love y'all, so ain't no disrespect now, you know what I'm saying? We always make records together. He's man-assing us about a new cast, you know, really, you know what I mean?
Madonna tour.
And Soul Train.
Yeah.
When we first came on Soul Train, that's when we said, it's on. We When we got on Soul Train, we aired on Soul Train, and came back to Staten Island, our hood.
We were stars.
Free food everywhere. Niggas pay for nothing.
The girls.
Yeah. I had 4 girls. No, it was nice. Man. Soul Train, love, peace, and soul.
The dance Soul Train.
So,
But you gotta think, nobody in Staten Island ever been on Soul Train.
Train.
It was the first one that touched Soul
Soil
Train
Don
soil.
Cornelius' hand.
Yes, that's the thing. That was the Saturday night thing. Everybody used to watch Soul Train. Play outside, 11 o'clock, Soul Train. Everybody used to watch Soul Train. So we was on there for the first time. And that was great.
Hopefully we're getting on some TV, some movies, and some sitcoms or something. That's what I'm shooting for. Hopefully, be guests on TV shows and stuff like that.
We got
Y'all give me a little acting job here and there. I'll take that.
We're definitely pushing hard for the stage play.
Yeah.
It's a stage play called Legends of the Forgotten Borough. That's that now.
I almost forgot about
Legends
that.
of the Forgotten Borough. They're actually going to be in Atlanta, Morehouse.
Yeah, it's Morehouse College,
College.
October 10th.
Yes.
So to be clear, we have a stage play that was put together. It's called Legends of the Forgotten Borough.
Yes.
It's been debuted and premiered at the Black Theater Festival in Morehouse in Atlanta, October 10th, the Columbus Day weekend. It got picked out of like 500 different plays. So this is a play that we helped put together with the writer and director Sharice Salem, and we're going to be trying to go city to city with that, as well as, like I said before, the academy. We got a music academy too that we're putting together. We're just trying to extend ourselves in different ways, and what Trisco said about the TV, with TV like reality show. We're just trying to stay relevant, stay in the game, and do what we want to do, as well as create other doors and open it for other artists that's
There you go.
younger and up and coming as well.
And I got a book out also. A book about live force MDs is a good book called Necessary Force. So look out for that on our website,
Yeah.
forcemdworld.com.
Yeah, forcemdsworld.com.